If you're having some hip pain or knee pain and you think it might be your IT band, should you be stretching it, foam rolling it, or none of the above? What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're covering if you should be stretching your IT band. A lot of people think their IT band is the cause of their hip pain or knee pain, but is it actually? Today we're going to dive right into that and what might be contributing to that hip and knee pain. Before we dive into it, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you want to keep seeing fitness updates every single week, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and give the video a thumbs up. So before I actually answer if you need to stretch or foam roll your IT band, we do need to cover what it actually is. So your IT band isn't a muscle. It's made up of fascia. It sort of acts as a really large tendon. And with fascia, it's basically a connective tissue that helps hold different things together in your body. There's a little less blood flow than muscle tissues, and it doesn't develop muscle knots similar to muscle tissue. And when looking at your IT band and all of the different muscles around it, you can see it's surrounded by quite a few muscles. You have your glutes, your hamstrings, your TFL, and your vastus lateralis. All of these muscles, some more than others, can have a pretty large influence on your IT band. So now for the big question. Do you need to stretch or foam roll your IT band? So the answer is no. You do not need to stretch or foam roll your IT band, even though it may feel tight or sore. Now, why is that? Now, as you saw, there are a lot of different muscles that interact with your IT band. And we're going to use one in particular. It's your TFL. It uses your IT band as a tendon. So if your TFL, which is in the top of your hip, so if you sit down a lot or you run a lot, it's probably pretty stiff. So if it gets very tight, then it's going to pull a lot more on your IT band, and then you're going to have a greater sensation of it feeling tight. So in that case, you may think that the issue could be your IT band or your knee, but it's actually stemming from the TFL. Similar thing on the opposite side. If your glutes are really weak, it can cause an imbalance in your hips, and then the pull on your IT band will be a little unequal. So whenever we're looking at a source of pain, we need to look at what's around it and what is causing that pain. Usually the area that you're having a pain is rarely the cause of that actual pain. Sometimes it stems from somewhere else. In this case with our IT band, it's the muscles surrounding and interacting with it. So if you shouldn't be stretching or foam rolling your IT band, what should you do instead? So there's a couple different things you can do. I'm going to cover one general one because everyone's situation of where they're stiff or previous injuries is a little bit different. So I'm going to give you a general idea of what you can do that will give you more of a long-lasting solution compared to just trying to stretch or foam roll your IT band. And with that as well, because of how strong fascia is, it's very hard for yourself to put enough pressure on that actual area to make any sort of changes, any noticeable changes. So any feeling of improvement that you have from stretching your IT band or even foam rolling your IT band is just temporary. It's a temporary relief. So what I'm going over now is an actual long-term solution to help improve it so that way it doesn't happen again. So if you were paying attention earlier, you'll remember that one of the muscles that I talked about was your TFL. So if you sit down a lot, as I'm doing right now, your TFL does get pretty tight. And since it uses your IT band as a tendon, when your TFL gets really, really tight and short, it means there's going to be a lot more tension on your IT band. Usually something that's associated with this as well is a bit of imbalance in your glutes. Typically they're weak. They're not so weak that you can't walk and move around, but there is a bit of a weakness compared to the other muscles around it. So for most people, the thing that will improve that sort of IT band pain or hip or knee pain will be to actually stretch or foam roll your TFL. This will allow you to release and lengthen that muscle that's putting tension on your IT band. As well, because weak glutes are often associated with this, doing some glute strengthening exercises such as some hip bridges or single leg hip bridges would be an excellent addition. So the general solution is to stretch and release your hip flexors and strengthen your glutes. That's going to give you a more long-term solution to actually improve what's going on in that hip. Whereas if you're just to try to foam roll your IT band, you may get some temporary relief, but nothing long lasting. Because what we want to do is improve the function of your hip and your knee. That will improve everything else. So as I mentioned earlier as well, everybody's hip and knee pain all has different causes. So if you have something that you would want me to cover, leave a comment down below and I can always see if I can try to make a video on your particular case. So if you found this video helpful, or you want to see me go detailed into a solution or go over some stretching or foam rolling that can actually improve the pain that you may be having, let me know in the comments and I'll get that video made for you. So I appreciate all of you. Let me know if you found this helpful. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.